a little bit about me, and then I'm going to go around. Role-playing games happened late in my life. I started a middle school after-school program, worked with middle schoolers for several years until COVID hit. My passion has been generally sharing, teaching people games that I really like to play. This is kind of a hybrid idea. The first idea was some friends I've made over the first year of my channel, namely Austin, Tabletop Bro, Dominic, Dumble Builds, and Sean Swing Ripper, my first mate over at my channel and co-admin. I wanted to run a Pathfinder game I'm going to speak in Australian, my mates.
Oh, his mates.
Also, Tabletop Bro is relatively new to Pathfinder, and wanted to game so that he could maybe decide whether he likes it. The idea grew though because we needed a fourth player, so I reached out to some YouTubers I know, people that whose videos I've enjoyed, and that brings us to Treant Monk and D4 D&D Deep Dives.
I've been around in the Rules Layer cinematic universe. I've only played Pathfinder 2nd Edition like 5 times, and I feel like I've run it wrong every single time, which is why I want to do this.
I had tons of experience with Pathfinder 1, wrote guides for it, and was involved in the community and all that stuff. And then
You were the author of the God Wizard Guide.
Yes. When Pathfinder 2 first came out, I bought the book right away, and I flipped through it once, and I have not looked at it again since. And now my normal method is if I'm going to go play a new game like this, then I do some homework. But I've been specifically instructed not to. So I'm very blind walking into Pathfinder 2. I'm a full-time YouTuber.
I run a YouTube channel called D4, D&D Deep Dive. Like Chris, I've been fortunate enough now to be able to just do it full-time, which is awesome. As far as my experience with Pathfinder goes, I think I'm probably the blindest of the blind here.
For those who are new to Pathfinder, do you already have a concept of a kind of character you want to have?
Yes.
Or will you be deferring that to me doing an overview of some options?
No, I
know what I want to play.
Yeah,
All right.
My thought process was, because I think, Ronald, you kind of wanted me to see how I thought about Pathfinder 2 in comparison to 5th edition, right?
Whatever you want to get out of it.
Yeah. So and
that was a suggestion.
So I figured if we're going to play low level, I'll play something I enjoy playing at low level. So I'm doing Halfling Wizard.
Okay, sounds like you totally should do that. Sean and I were actually thinking it was actually possible to make a monk who is a treant in this game.
Oh yeah.
I got dibs
we
on
could
the monk.
just over that, but I thought that would have been funny.
My favorite class in pretty much any game, if it's available as a class, is the monk. And so I'd love to see what it's like in Pathfinder 2 and how it compares, and see if it's actually a little more viable than it is in 5th edition as it stands.
Just recently, I watched Chris's video on Monks Suck.
Oh yeah, that was a famous one.
Yep. And Austin,
I mean, Colby and I kind of agree on the mechanics.
Yeah.
He just really he wishes they were better, and I wish they were better.
and I play them anyway, and I'm constantly trying to find ways to multi-class them and make them a little more. Stronger.
I don't want to influence your views, bias you, or anything. I'm just gonna say, just get ready.
I'll be back.
Get ready, as in like lower my expectations or raise them?
I'd say raise them.
Now I'm even more excited.
I'm probably gonna play a ranger because Colby inspired me. I've always loved the ranger, but I know they kind of suck ass in 5th edition, and they're like memed in like literally every RPG ever. So I'm inspired. I want to see if the ranger sucks.
Pathfinder 2. It's a split off of the evolution of D&D. It's kind of a refresh of the mechanics of 3rd edition, but trying to make it more streamlined and balanced, learning lessons from 4E and 5E. Oh yeah, people should feel free to interact with the Google Doc. I see them doing that already. This is also a way for you guys to work out some things collectively. I made this nifty chart. Look at that. Do y'all see that? Mm-hmm. Look at that little graphic I made.
All right.
This is the structure of a character. Everybody has only one class in Pathfinder 2nd edition. There's no multi-classing in the style of 3E. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me those exaggerated reactions. This is exactly what we need
I
for
need the thumbnail
content.
pictures.
Okay, if we're only going to level 2, then maybe I wouldn't have multiclassed anyway.
So you,
Like,
you
Guys,
some
in this
Yeah.
level 2 game, I demand multiclassing.
You can pose now. Give me all your exaggerated poses for the thumbnails. So, say you're a fighter. Instead of taking a fighter feat, you can take a archetype. Think of archetypes as themes. There are some archetypes that are multi-class archetypes, like wizard, or ranger, or monk. And then there are those that are not tied to a class at all. Things like Beastmaster, if you want to have an animal companion.
I want to be playing a grappler war priest because one of the classic weaknesses of war priest is your spells are weaker. So I'm just not going to rely on my spells to apply debuffs. I'm just going to apply them with my raw hands.
So war priest, for those not in the know, is a type of cleric.
It's a cleric
So
type.
you're going to be a religious, person laying hands on people.
He's hitting him with the Father, the Son, and
I think I'm just going to lock in as an alchemist.
You're gonna do the experimental, the weird class.
he's doing the thing.
I love alchemist.
Let me explain ability scores. Some expectations to correct coming from 5e are that dexterity does not increase your damage in Pathfinder. Strength is what increases your damage from melee attacks and thrown weapons and even bow attacks to some extent. A better intelligence gives you more skills. Wisdom also improves your main initiative statistic, which is perception. Charisma has some very useful uses in combat. People should just blurt out what they're thinking for ancestry.
Work.
Human.
Halfling.
No clue,
All right.
but I'll bet it'll be elfish.
Folks can use Path Builder, but I don't want it to be a substitute for reading through the option.
Yes, Ronald.
Yeah, don't worry. At least as far as Chris and I are concerned, I'm sure we will be going through
Yeah.
every single thing.
Rules?
With
Who
the
cares about
fine-tooth-
rules?
How can I make this one
What a
level
drag.
monk the most powerful I possibly can?
Talking to the optimization channels about reading the rules. Chris, did you see the heritage where you get extra hit points when you take a snack?
I did, but
This is
I
a
figured.
heritage.
Then I'm looking at it with Optimizer's brain. And I'm like, we're playing level 1. One extra doesn't sound like very much. And well, I looked at the gutsy one, and I'm like, I definitely want to be brave.
Your heritage can also be a versatile heritage. There's a versatile heritage to be an Aasimar, and any ancestry can take it. There's a tiefling, the 4 elements, beastkin.
4 elements. Okay, now I'm playing Aang.
You beat me to the punch.
Not all 4. Wait, there is Suli.
Well, I think my ancestry feat is got to be the easiest one ever because there's one called Halfling Luck, and it allows me to re-roll a failed saving throw.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Done.
Is there,
Alright.
is there like a little
We got it.
asterisk that says specifically designed for Chris at Giant Monk's Temple?
Yeah,
It is once per day, though. You got that, right?
I didn't get that once per day.
Yes.
I'm still taking it.
I'm basically gonna probably want to read through every single option before I commit to anything.
Uh-oh.
We're
Just
allowed to
ahead.
respec.
Well,
We're
just
allowed
how
to
I
You
work.
can
respec.
respec, yeah.
Ronald, I have a question because unlike these min-maxers here, I'm all about the story. So what is a
Jeez.
It's best if all of the PCs are from Falcon's Hollow. Falcon's Hollow is not the friendliest of towns, but as a place founded by desperate outcasts, the people are relatively accepting of most ancestries.
From like an optimizer standpoint, there are kind of 2 ways to go with monk. With dexterity, you're going to have really, really good AC. You can have some of the,
The best
best
AC.
AC. Yeah,
best AC in the game.
basically the equivalent of a paladin in full plate. But you're going to lose out a little bit on damage. Or you can go full strength, and you have AC that is basically the same as another frontliner, but you can have better damage. The other
Got
thing that you should really look at, though, is your first level monk feat. You get stances. You spend an action to get into your stance in combat, and a lot of them will restrict you to a specific type of martial arts. And some of them have finesse, and some of them don't. That can
Finesse
influence whether
meaning
you want
you get to use your dexterity as your accuracy.
Yeah.
So to hit, but not to damage regardless.
Yeah.
Correct.
Damage,
Yeah,
not
you
still
may
fun.
want to check out the monk feats as an initial step because
it.
that'll help determine
Yeah.
what your ability scores will be.
I'm going to have a fun weekend with this.
They start with expert proficiency in every single saving throw.
Everything you're trained in, you get your level +2 plus your ability modifier is what. But then expert gives you an extra +2, master gives you an extra +2 on top of that, and then legendary gives you an extra +2 on top of that. The
Okay,
main
nice. Okay, so now I'm thinking about going half elf.
You get access to that Ancestries list of feats. There's a
Yes,
human list,
Everything
there's
leads
an
to more
elf
stuff
list,
at level 1.
and there's a half elf list.
That's poggers.
I'm going toxicologist.
Ooh.
You saw, Austin, that Rangers choose their subclass, you can call it, is their Hunter's Edge.
That's the big choice for Ranger.
For Chris, there's actually two important choices for level 1 Wizard. There's the Thesis, Arcane Thesis, and the Arcane School. For Kobe, there are no subclasses for Monk. You basically customize your Monk through feats.
Yep.
Okay.
Should I be melee or ranged?
Let me share with you the wisdom of the South, the real South. Close your eyes. When you see this badass orc ranger, what weapon is he holding?
Yeah, he's holding twin axes.
Done.
There you go. Yeah, that's perfectly valid.
Wow.
And what's cool about axes is that if you wanted to go strength and dex, you can also have the option of throwing them.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of an axe, man.
Yep.
I have chosen the illusions school.
Oh, I have to tell you though, I should tell you this, Chris, the disclaimer for casters in Pathfinder 2e. They are not as strong as they are in other editions.
Well, that's bullshit.
Table flip
I'm-
incoming.
Yeah.
But I just need to temper expectations because they are Pathfinder is less of a daily resource management game where you have these strong spells even at first level that will kind of be a counter for the party's adventuring day. The system actually assumes you'll be at full health between combats, and there's a mechanic also called focus spells that you can cast once every theoretical encounter because you can recharge your resource for them with 10 minutes of rest. And the spells that you do spend your limited spell slots on tend to be stronger in combination with other folks. Kind of the big showstopper spells are not really there until higher level.
Okay.
And also, things that incapacitate enemies, like Color Spray, which is a very strong spell in first edition Pathfinder, have the incapacitation trait. So it's never possible to take out a boss from a combat. So just those are the big things that usually throw people for a loop who start from another system.
We don't really have a big weapon character, so magic weapon's probably less good in this party.
Can you cast it on my fists?
No.
No, because you're a monk and you suck.
So you get you a thesis as well.
Your thesis.
Which
I selected metamagical experimentation.
Ooh.
I didn't realize we
Nice.
had a fucking nerd in the party.
Reach spell is a popular metamagic feat, Chris, because it turns touch spells into 30 feet also.
Okay,
And-
and there's lots of touch spells I'll want, or
Yeah,
All
you
right.
don't have to get in their face.
so I should take that instead of widen spell. Then you're saying?
I don't know if one is patently better. Oh yeah, and movement costs an action. Yep.
And movement costing an action makes it so that reach spell is actually like better than moving in a lot
I
of
will
cases.
take your recommendation.
I think I took Dragon Stance.
That has the biggest damage die.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon Sense Fox.
And I like kicking things as a monk, and
Oh.
not just using my fist. So that sounded cool.
The power of the monk is kind of hidden. The strength of monks is their flurry of blows class feature, which lets them make 2 attacks with a single action. Most monsters do not have opportunity attacks either. So you can enter, make 2 attacks, and then spring away. Normal people have -5 and -10. If you're a flurry ranger and your weapon is agile, it's -2, -4.
That's huge.
They also and everyone's proficient with shields in Pathfinder 2e, including monks. And you can spend an action to increase your AC by 2, which is a huge defensive boost.
Oh, so I should buy a shield.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You absolutely can. Yeah.
Or you can do the cantrip shield.
The cantrip shield gives a +1. An actual
Cantrips.
physical shield can be raised for a +2.
But the shield
you can
cantrip
totally go
lets
for a
you use
shield.
the shield block reaction. You
It
can
soaks
do it
damage,
once per
shield block.
10 minutes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll try out the cantrip.
The shield is very strong, even like a
Yeah,
physical shield.
I was thinking about it, but then I felt like I might actually make a decision here based on character concept rather than
Heyo.
math. The thing that I love about monks is this fantasy of like my body is the only weapon I need kind of thing. I went human with my ancestry, half elf heritage. I took arcane tattoos with the shield cantrip for my ancestry feat. I felt like I was supposed to, as a human, I was supposed to get another feat.
That's a specific feat for natural ambition. You need to give up your tattoo for it.
So now I'm rethinking my tattoos. I should
Another
do...
option
This
is
is like
to go
it's
full
like
human.
I'm like witnessing a real-time making of a Kobe character.
Yeah,
You're
except
like
for I don't
mulling
know
the
anything.
options.
Yeah. Another option.
I know, but it's just the whole. I see how your deliberateness.
Yeah. I get
That
people
makes
that
sense.
will ask me
Like,
sometimes, and Chris, you might get this too. I don't know, but like, I'll get commenters that are like, "Do a video on like how you optimize a character." I'm like, seriously, the video would be me going like this for 6 hours.
Also, Colby, here's the thing. Okay, min-maxing is temporary. Riz is forever. So,
What's Riz?
dude, I just learned what this is last week. A field medic, a criminal, a farmhand, a gambler, and a bounty hunter. This is like a Tarantino movie.
I'm reading Keystrike. Okay, so it's a bonus 1d6 damage. But now, if I were in Dragon Stance, would I add that to the d10 then that I'm rolling for a Dragon Stance kick, or is the kick that I make in Dragon Stance something different than like
the kick is an unarmed strike? It works.
Okay, got it.
Key strike can be a flurry.
So it can apply to 2 kicks for 1 cast. So you can actually get like +7 damage from it and +1 actually on both of those attacks from flurry.
Nice.
That's what makes it good.
Okay, I'm gonna take Keystrike.
So that is
How bad is a 17 AC for a frontliner? Yeah, I'm a 14 dex.
And that's because the background that gives Assurance Athletics has you pick between Con and Wisdom, right?
Yep.
It's a little low for the monk, but you're pretty near par for classes in general. You can delay getting Assurance to level 2. It's a skill feat that you can always do.
Right. So that was the other thing. I guess I was thinking like maybe instead of going farmhand, I take something that lets me bump my dex.
Like maybe Martial Disciple.
Martial Disciple. That sounds fitting.
Because
Chris, the answer to the question that you posed in your most recent video, has Wizards of the Coast become a greedy corporation? The answer is yes.
Will you stand by that, what you just said? Because
Also,
you just admitted you didn't think they were a greedy corporation before. They can't become one unless they weren't one to begin with.
No, not that.
Fair point. You win. You win this round, Treant Monk.
I'm just not sure whether to say saying a corporation greedy is greedy it applies.
According to the law, corporations are people.
Not in
is true.
Canada.
Oh,
So
They're
sorry, you
smarter.
guys have it
Nice.
wrong.
how does it feel to live under the iron boot of socialism?
When would people like to meet again? I'd like to do it at least one more before the end of this month.
I have
Go
2
ahead.
days available this month. I can play on the 25th or the evening of the 31st. Is that all right with anyone?
You absolute psycho.
I don't know what Catfall is, but I like it.
Yeah, reducing
Catfall
full
is just something
damage.
that makes you
Real
take less
nice.
fall damage.
All right,
Steez.
bring it on. I'm going to be looking for stuff to jump off of, just FYI.
Oh, I did want in the last 5 minutes for people to give thoughts.